Welcome to the Wix Classic editor. Even though this course is going to be demonstrated almost entirely inside of Wix Studio, I still want to explore the development environment within the Classic editor for those of you who are using it either out of necessity or choice. We are going to highlight mostly differences, so I do recommend still watching the Wix Studio tour in order to get a complete picture of the development environment. So first of all, in terms of entering dev mode or code mode, here's inside of Wix Classic, it's in a slightly different place. It's up here on top. You can see it says here dev mode. I'm going to go ahead and click that and turn on dev mode. Now again, we have a process of opening up the development environment, and you can see here that we've entered a configuration which is quite similar to the Wix Studio version. So we have a panel here on the side for navigating between different elements of our development environment. And here on the bottom right, we have our in-editor IDE. Within Wix Classic, we do not have the option to use the new Wix IDE. That is the VS Code version, which I showed you at the end of the Wix Studio tour. One difference that you'll notice between Wix Classic and Wix Studio is that Wix Classic uses icons here in the side panel, as opposed to Wix Studio, which had verbal descriptions. I personally quite like the icons, possibly because I'm used to it. I don't see the harm in having both, but currently the state of things is that Classic has icons and Wix Studio has words. These icons correspond mostly to the same options that we had in the Wix Studio side panel. So the first one is the page code. The second one is our backend and public. You can see here that it looks almost exactly the same with the same options here. We have the option to search code just like we did within Wix Studio. We have the GitHub connection just like we did within Wix Studio. We have the option to access packages and apps as well as our custom app packages, all the same as we had within Wix Studio. Here we have access to the collections, again, in the same way as we had with Wix Studio. And last but not least, we have the option to connect to our external tools. And all of these tools, they're all in the dashboard and they all are exactly like they are within Wix Studio. The same goes for the custom code, which I demonstrated, which is inside of the settings of the dashboard. One thing that you'll notice that is missing here is that we do not have the option to add a global CSS file. Wix Classic does not support the option to add custom CSS, so you have to rely only on the design features that are available within the no-code editor. With that, I'm going to wrap up this demo of the Classic editor. It was very brief because it is mostly the same as Wix Studio. You have pretty much all of the development capabilities, and they behave in a similar manner in both Wix Classic and Wix Studio, with the exception of the Wix IDE and the option to add custom CSS.